All right, everyone. Guess who's back? Still sweaty as ever. Did you miss me? Because I missed you. It's been a couple weeks. I mean, for you, you wouldn't even notice because I've been posting videos like normal. But for me, I did have intentions of recording on the vacation, just little things. None of that got done. I mean, I was vacationing. I don't know what I was thinking. I had plans on getting a little bit of things done, but I was still posting as normal. So, anyways, hello. Nice to see you all again. I've been back for a couple days now. We actually got back Monday night. It's now Thursday. But because of the time change and we got back pretty late, it was an 11-hour flight and we couldn't really sleep on it because of the way we got home late at night, so it wouldn't have worked. So we just stayed up and we've been exhausted. But yes, we are back. I filmed some of this on Tuesday, I think, or Wednesday, and I just looked so tired and I was just trying to get through it. I was kind of rushing, and as I was just editing it, I didn't like the feel of it. It just felt like I was trying to just say words with no intention. So I was sitting down today. This gets posted tomorrow. I like to post it on Fridays, so I'm gonna keep it short and I'm gonna try and keep it with as little editing as possible. As far as the trip goes, I will share some of that at the end, towards the end of the video if you're interested, but I still want to keep the general vibe of these videos as my crochet journey and crochet focused. So I do want to obviously incorporate a little bit of my lifestyle as well. But yes, I don't want to make it like a grease trip video, because that's not what this channel is about. So for those of you who are interested, it is coming in a little bit. But first, I'm going to talk about what I've been doing the past couple of days and what I want to do in the next coming weeks. So yeah, without further ado, let's talk a little bit about that. Today, I finally released Raya, the Raccoon Witch, which a lot of you will have seen. She is officially available on my Etsy shop, so if you're interested in that crochet pattern, please go check it out. Very proud of this one, really happy. This is my first Halloween pattern. I think she turned out super sweet. All my crochet testers, I'll put some pictures up here. They finished her as well. Lots of cute makes, very adorable, so I'm hoping she does well. We shall see. I also announced yesterday Ezzy, also known as Esmeralda, the yellow spotted salamander crochet pattern. It's actually the tester call for it, so if you're interested, it will be still available to apply to on my Instagram until Monday, I believe. So if you see this before Monday, I think it's the 28th, I'm not sure. September 28th, I think is the day, in the morning. So if you see this before then and you're interested, go check it out. It's a little bit different, a little bit more creepy, but I really like that kind of aesthetic, so I'm happy with it anyways. And there was supposed to be a third Halloween pattern. However, I don't know who puts these pressures on. I'm putting the pressure on myself, rather. Nobody's like, you have to come out with 3 Halloween patterns. It was just my idea, but I don't think it's gonna happen. I do have plans for one that I've been working on. However, I know crocheters, they like to have these things before, obviously, because it takes time to make them. So if I put it out, it'd probably be pretty close to Halloween. So who knows? I might still do it, but I also want to do some free patterns as well for Halloween. So we'll see where it gets us. Speaking of free patterns, though, I did announce last week, or release rather, my first ever fully free crochet tutorial for Maeve the Acorn Mouse. She is a fall crochet pattern. I'll put it here. Some of you may have seen it. Probably not. I don't think YouTube knew what to do with it, because I do vlog style content and this was not that, so I don't think it showed it to too many people. I'm not too concerned about it, however, only because I think the vlogs and the style of video, they kind of get seen by a lot of my community, people like you kind of click it and watch it and then it kind of falls off, which is totally normal. Whereas a tutorial kind of can stay up forever, for years even. You never know when it's going to take off, if it ever does, but I'm not too worried about it not getting seen right away, because hopefully there'll be opportunities for people to check it out over the coming months or years or whatever. But regardless, really happy with this design. I think she's super cute. I'm going to make a couple just to decorate with. It's pretty beginner friendly. I didn't go with anything too complicated, and it's also very small. So yes, please check that out. I'll put a link in the description for that. Aside from all that fun and exciting stuff, I've been going through my projects just to see which ones I can kind of keep, maybe some that I can get rid of, and some that I can just put aside for now. For example, I've talked about my crochet temperature blanket. I've worked on it on the channel multiple times. I am super far behind on that. I'm not gonna lie, but I really, really want to get it done before the end of the year. I think I'll lose my motivation if I don't get it done, because it's a 2024 like themed project. I think if I leave it to 2025, I'll kind of lose the energy and the motivation to do it. And I told myself I'd get it done. So I'm stuck in June right now, I think, still. So I'm pretty far behind. I think I'm going to put that to the forefront of my like kind of side projects, if you will. I think it's important. I want to get it done. So yes, we're going to focus that on that more. Obviously, my amigurumi and like the business stuff comes first, but these are just like the side projects. One I'm going to put aside is the crochet shirt that I was supposed to get done for Greece, which obviously I did not. Hi, Cypress. Get done. But I still want to have it for next summer. So I'm going to put it off till maybe like spring next year and just kind of put it aside. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. Kind of going through all my projects, seeing what I can keep and where I can let go. Refocusing a little bit. I think I need to, while I was gone, had a lot of stuff pre-posted. But I think that I need to have more of like a focus on what I'm specifically on things like Instagram, where I'm finding it hard to grow, even though I'm putting out a lot of like new and fresh content. It just doesn't feel like it's going anywhere. And I think that's just the way I'm putting out stuff or my focus. I'm kind of just rambling on like what I've been feeling the past couple weeks. It's been strange, even though I had all the stuff pre-planned. You can go lie down. Sometimes he looks for approval for him to lie down on his bed. Yeah, I think even though it was pre-planned, maybe it wasn't focused enough. I don't know what the deal was. It didn't seem to do as well as the stuff when I'm at home posting like normally. I don't know what the difference was because it still seems the same to me. But anyways, I really want to focus on going forward, being a little bit more focused and intentional, and really putting out quality content that you enjoy. So who knows how that's going to look like, but I do want to focus more on that because I just feel a little bit stagnant on a lot of my social medias. Like I don't feel like they're moving forward, and it's important to feel like you're moving forward sometimes. I know a lot of people say that like you just got to keep going and that's the plan, but it can be a little frustrating. I'm sure a lot of you will understand. But yeah, I don't want to lament on too long about that. I'm very excited that it's finally Halloween. It's fall season. When we left, it was like summer. So coming back into like a full fall season was a little surreal because it was so summery and bright colors and hot weather in Greece. And then we came here, it was a little bit cooler and dark, and all the trees were like changing and stuff. But it is my favorite season. It doesn't last long enough, but I do love fall. So aside from that, that's all the stuff I have going on. I'm going to try and work on some free patterns. They won't be tutorials. They will probably be written patterns. They're just a little bit easier for me to make for Halloween. So keep an eye out on those on my Instagram. And let's talk a little bit about Greece then, unless I can think of anything else that I missed. I'm probably missing things. However, Greece, we had a fantastic time. We went for a couple weeks. Like I said, we were there for a wedding, and we decided why go all the way to Greece just for a couple of days for a wedding when we can make a whole trip out of it. So that's what we did. We did Athens for a couple of days at first. It's a pretty cool city. There was lots of good food, some cool things to see like the Parthenon and some museums and lots of shopping. The city itself is pretty old, obviously. That probably doesn't need to be said, but it was also a little bit grungier than I was expecting. Definitely not the most walkable city. A lot of the sidewalks are like broken or non-existent, so that was a bit of a challenge, but we were fine. We still had a fantastic time. It is really cool. It's a cool city. And from there we went to Naxos. We had to fly in from Athens to Santorini technically first, then take a ferry, which we missed because of we had a delayed flight. So we ended up going from Santorini instead of Naxos, which is where we were staying. We had to go to Paros for a little bit, which was actually a really happy accident because it was a beautiful island. We were there pretty late, but we stayed there for a couple hours, and I would definitely go back to Paros because it seemed really cool. And then we went to Naxos after that for I think 3 days, which was one of our favorite spots. So beautiful. I'll put some photos and videos here, I'm sure. But yeah, if you ever get a chance to go to Naxos, definitely do. The food was amazing. Shopping is good. Everything's beautiful. We rented bikes and went to the Plaka, the beach. And the ocean there was pretty rough, but I think it was just maybe the season or the time, I don't know, but we still enjoyed swimming there. So yeah, Naxos was very cool. Oh, also while we were in Athens, we did do a boat trip. I'm gonna have to put the names up here. I think Aegina was one of them. One of them's known as Pistachio Island. They took us around to a bunch of different little islands I've never heard of, but they were actually really cool. One of them, yeah, they brought the pistachio there however long ago. Everything's so ancient, but they're known for the pistachios. They had delicious like baked goods with pistachio butter, pistachio gelato. It was all delicious. You can't go wrong. So that was also highly recommended. We had a great time there. And then from Naxos, we went to Santorini, which was probably one of our least favorites, to be honest. I know it's the one you hear about the most. It's the one where you see the picture and it's like the white building with the blue roof. I mean, other places have those too, but I found it just like oversaturated with people. A lot of the like pictures that you see are a very small part of the island, and really it was just a place to shop, and everything was really expensive. Whereas a lot of these other islands are just as beautiful, if not more beautiful, and a lot more affordable. So I'm glad we only did one night in Santorini, because really for us, that's all we really wanted. And it was one of the more expensive Airbnbs and one of the like worst quality ones. Not that it was bad, but it just like was bare bones. So again, probably would never go back there. There's a lot of other cooler places I want to see that we didn't get to go to. Something like Crete. I would love to go to Crete, but it was just too far. We have no interest in places like Mykonos or any of the party islands. We're not partiers, so we kind of avoided those. And then we left the islands and went up north to the second largest city in Greece, which is known as Thessaloniki. I had never heard of this before. We didn't stay in Thessaloniki. We rented a car. The wedding was on, they call them the fingers. It was on the lower finger, so it was on the ocean. So it's a couple hours away from the city. So we picked up a car, drove down, and we just made the wedding, because they actually ended up having to change the day of the wedding a day earlier, and they did this the week of the wedding. So we all were kind of scrambling to make sure we'd get there, because we had obviously planned to get there a day before, so we had a little bit of time. There was a rehearsal dinner that day that we weren't sure we were going to make, but now all that got pushed a day forward. So we literally landed in Thessaloniki, got our car, drove down. We made it there half an hour before the wedding. Thankfully, we were able to drop Dante off because he was walking her down the aisle, his sister down the aisle, and they got ready, whatever. He got ready at the venue. Thankfully, we were only staying 4 minutes away, and we went back to our Airbnb. The hostess was helping us because we told her we have a wedding in half an hour. And she was like a lovely older lady and running around just like making sure we had irons and helping us get ready. And then, so that was really cute. The two girls, Dante's sister and her friend, had to get ready, full makeup, full hair, everything with under half an hour, which they did, and they looked amazing. So good for them. That's very impressive. I just had to put on a suit, which was much easier. I don't have to do hair or makeup, obviously. So yeah, when I tell you we rolled into that wedding, we drove in, pulled up, the door was locked, they came and opened it. By the time we sat down, there was maybe a minute before they started walking down the aisle. So we literally just made it in, and it was a beautiful wedding. There was the right move to change it. The day that it was supposed to be, it rained, so the next day it rained, and the day they changed it to was a beautiful sunny day. So it was the right move at the end of the day, and fantastic location, fantastic food. Everything was so good. It was one of the better weddings I've ever been to. Definitely the best food I've ever had at a wedding. So good. And we had a blast. We stayed in a tiny little fishing town there because there really wasn't much else choice. A lot of people stayed at something called, I think it was called the Miragio. Very expensive. Not really our scene either. We like to see like the culture and stay in like towns and stuff. And we had a fantastic little Airbnb. And we met some locals, and we had our own little like beach area because it was off season. Everything was very quiet. So yes, we spent a couple days there just relaxing and swimming and eating food. Oh my god, the food was so good. The other thing that was amazing and surprising, because a lot of people talk about Italy for their coffee, which I love. I loved Italy too. But the coffee in Greece is, dare I say, better? I'm so sorry, Italians. Especially the freddo, like the cappuccino freddos and the cold iced coffees and stuff are so good. The amount of like froth and foam they get, I think they use like full fat stuff. It's just to die for. I need to learn how to make these because they are so good. But yes, everything was amazing. After that, we actually got on another plane. You may notice the theme. We like to jump around on our vacations. It's a little exhausting, but we like to just have a big backpack that we love and just pack everything in there and not have any like luggage to like worry about and like have to stay in baggage or claim baggage claim or whatever. We like to just have a backpack that goes in the overhead. That way we can keep moving. So yes, we went from Thessaloniki to Corfu, and Corfu was a place I'd never heard of before. I understand it to be now more of the European vacation destination, so a lot of North Americans. I don't think we saw another North American there. It was mostly Italian, French, and some people from the UK. But holy crap, was Corfu beautiful. I think it was all of our favorite spots of all of Greece, maybe, aside from maybe Naxos. I mean, it's hard to say. It's also amazing. But it was really cool. It was built by the Venetians because it's very close to Venice. And you could tell, I think it was owned by France at one point. So there was a lot of different influences in this one spot. And it was just so cool. Everything was so beautiful. The food was amazing. The shopping was great. We went on another little excursion on a boat. Where we did some snorkeling, and the snorkeling was so cool. It was all these, I couldn't obviously film underwater, but tons of fish and starfish and everything you can want to see. I was really looking for an octopus because I thought that'd be really cool, but never ended up finding one. But alas, fantastic. Definitely recommend Corfu. I would like to go back one day. Something kind of neat that happened in Corfu. Neat for me. Some of you might not know who he is, but we did run into Stephen Fry, who I love, and my partner does as well. I also grew up watching him with like my grandparents and people, so it was nice to have like a figure who was openly gay, to see like my family enjoying him and knowing that, it's like kind of like a cool thing to be like, I feel safe that they like this guy who's openly gay. Anyways, it was a cool experience. We didn't bother him because even though it was just Dante and I and a small alleyway and him and I guess a tour guide, and we just literally walked by each other and we were just like just kind of staring at him. But you could tell he didn't want to be bothered. He wasn't looking or anything. So we just let him walk by, be a cool moment, not disturb him. And it was very awesome to see him. So anyways, Corfu was really cool, and then from there we flew south back to Athens a day before our flight. We stayed in a little town on the coast. I can't remember what it was called. I'll put it here. It was our only hotel of the whole stay. We just wanted somewhere like kind of where we could recuperate for the day. We know the beds are nice and just kind of relax on the seaside with a pool. So I feel very blessed and lucky to have gone. I know it's not something everyone gets to do. We really want to travel, so we're trying to take every opportunity we can to travel because that's what we want to do with our life. We're not having kids or anything, and there's got to be a point to working all the time. So that's what we like to do. I would definitely go back. I probably wouldn't do some of the places, like I said, Santorini. I would love to see Crete. I would love to go back to Paros. And there are a couple things like Corfu that I would do more of. There was a lot more of the island that we didn't see. We did go up and take that boat. It went up to Albania, I believe. Not into Albania, but very close to one of the cities there. There were a lot of excursions like that we did that were just so cool. So we had a lot of fun. But yeah, that's it for this video. I'm going to keep it short. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, I really appreciate it. Next week, I promise I'll have something a little bit more coherent. I'll be a little bit more, hopefully, relaxed and stuff. Like, there's so much going on here. I'm trying to get work done, and coming back from the vacation is obviously a whole different thing. Alas, thank you so much for watching. I will catch you in the next one. And until then, stay naughty, friends. Bye.